Would you want to be told that the place you live in is the poorest town in Australia? Well, Michael Holmes has that story.
If you drive from Adelaide to Sydney, chances are you'll go through Parilla on the South Australian-Victorian border. Now, Parilla's not famous for much. In fact, it's not all that well known outside of, well, Parilla, really. But this month, Parilla got its 15 minutes of fame. Just not the sort of fame it wanted. You see, Parilla was named Australia's poorest town.
Parilla, we're finally on the map.
Parilla was unlucky enough to have, according to the Taxation Department, the nation's lowest average taxable income, a mere $12,500 a year.
Do people here think poor?
No, never.
No, they don't, no.
They're fighters, they really are.
Yeah. No, they don't.
We all say we're survivors.
But how do you survive on $12,500 a year? Like a lot of Parilla locals, farmer Gordon Hancock and his wife Christine say it's not easy.
There's always pressure, there's always things that you'd like to have and you just can't have them.
To cut back, well, I just don't buy things like you make your clothes last a lot longer, shoes, etc.
Like a lot of farmers, Gordon has diversified to survive. With son Lyndon, he farms pigs, grows grain and runs some sheep. But even with free lamb and pork, there's not enough coming in to support 2 families. So Lyndon works at a golf course to survive. Meanwhile, one problem Gordon doesn't have is potatoes. At least not since he leased some of his farm to a local grower.
Since they've been leasing land here, well, that's 4 years that we haven't bought a spud. So.
Over at Max Hall's place, onions keep the farm afloat. Plus, Max's dream that the vast underground sea that flows beneath Parilla will one day support a wine industry. What do you reckon about the town being called Australia's poorest?
I wouldn't say that'd be Australia's richest, I reckon.
Why?
Well, Ray's got all the money, he won't let me out.
At Ray and Barbara's Parilla pub, the spirit is typical of the locals. There's a difference between being poor and living in poverty.
You either got poor health or you're poor financially, or how do you define being poor?
And how do you feel?
Well, I feel rich. As long as you've got good health, you know what I mean? You've got a roof over your head and you've got a job, what more do you want?
What Jack and Joan Osborne want is to be able to sell their shop and retire. A bit hard when the tax department's busy telling everyone how poor you are.
It's never even entered our heads that we were sort of poverty-stricken.
As the saying goes, there are lies, damned lies, and statistics. Now, the people of Parilla say they might be battlers, but they have riches that city folk can only dream about. There are some things that can't be measured in terms of dollars, cents, and taxable income. For a start, you can't put a price on pride.
It's only a statistic, and I mean, it doesn't matter what people are going to say. We know what we're all about and what we work for.
Leanne Russell is Lyndon Hancock's sister and, like him, grew up in Parilla.
People can earn $500,000 a year and not making enough money to live their lifestyle. And we can make our $12,000 or whatever, but we're still enjoying our lifestyle.
You can talk poverty all you like, but this is a town that pays its way. For example, they built their own sports ground without a Ros Kelly whiteboard in sight. Back at Ray and Barb's pub, the talk is of tough times and of statistics, of falling commodity prices, and of men in suits who can give a town a bad name with the sweep of a pen.
Just because the average was the lowest, well, someone had to be the lowest. It might as well be us.
Baby piggy.
Is there actually a positive side to being called a poor town?
I think it's definitely made people sit up and think, well, you know, to hell with them. We know what we are, and we're definitely not losers.
Michael Holmes there proving once again that statistics